Mike's Daily Podcast.
FFF episode 994. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Today, it's the return to the much-loved segment, Mike's Cassette Cubbyhole, where we will hear the shortest cassette cubbyhole of all time, featuring Lee Greenwood. And he says something that's bizarre. And we'll hear another interesting
Mike's Daily Podcast.
A couple characters stop by. Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley are going to come by.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I can't wait. You know, this is the time of the year where we start to go, oh my gosh, I ate a lot of stuff and I got really fat. Look at me. I can see so much fat from ear to ear. I think I can't fit in my clothes anymore. That belt I don't need anymore because my pants are ripping.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And this is usually a song that rhymes, but it doesn't, so I must be slipping
Mike's
slightly.
Daily
I need to go work out.
Podcast.
I need to go to Weight Watchers.
Yeah!
I need to get... This is that year. So, it's all, right now, it's all ads for weight loss and for taxes now. And you see that little guy that looks kind of like a chipmunk with the glasses, and he shows up and he's like, America, we're going to get you back your money. And you know, you get sick of those commercials really quick. But I think that Christmas worked out really well for me overall. I did 2 podcasts, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, those podcasts respectively there. I got to enjoy some beautiful sunsets from where I work at the studios that I work for. This radio station in Pleasanton has a beautiful view of Mount Diablo, and I got to see the sunset. I got to see the rain. Overall, I could not complain. Right now, I should not complain because there's good things in my life. Yesterday, I was thinking about all those memories of past Christmases, and now I'm starting to think of past New Year's as we're getting closer to New Year's, the next big holiday. Although today is Boxing Day, and I should bring up my dog, Basil the Boxer. But look who just walked in! Hello, Michael Matthews. This is Madame Rootabega, Michael Matthews. I'm never on your show anymore. Haley doesn't let me talk. Oh yeah, we don't have Haley on today's show. I hope Haley is enjoying Haley's Christmas. Yes. No, Haley doesn't let you speak? Is that what you're saying? You who are a she? Michael Matthew, why are you throwing out pronouns and such everywhere? Her? Her is a pronoun. Yes, whatever. Michael Matthew, I just feel like the world is constantly interrupting me. Why would you say that? Because I feel as if every time I try to say something, the world cuts me off. I didn't cut you off there. I let you speak. That was just a complete coincidence. You know, Madame Rootabega, I think you're being too paranoid about the world. Maybe the world has a lot to say and you don't, so maybe you shouldn't say that much. Michael Matthew, I have so much to say, so much to express myself about. That's why I'm wearing this new dress. Ah, yes, the new dress. It's not your typical terracotta orange. It's more of a... No, I guess that is a terracotta orange. It's a slightly different shade. Ah. Uh-huh. So you're expressing yourself that way. That's right. Look who else just walked in. Yes, madam, look who else just walked.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we enjoyed coming over to your house last night and watching all those Christmas specials there.
Yeah, Christmas specials. Do you know that? Michael Matthew, what was the Christmas specials you were watching? I was not watching Christmas specials. I decided, since it was Christmas Day night, and the last bit to really soak up all the Christmas sap and goo that the world has created, I thought maybe I'll watch a bunch of TV show Christmas specials. I watched the Christmas special that Psych had, which involved a Santa in Solvang, which I went to UC Santa Barbara and I actually dated a girl that lived near Solvang. Buellton. Bueller. Anyway, cafe anyway. So she lived in this really huge house, and it was beautiful, it was big, and she had these parents. They were really nice. They were into Rush Limbaugh, and this is 1989, late 89, 90, early 90, and they're into Rush Limbaugh. They had taken a cruise with him, like one of those cruise ship things, and he wasn't the huge, I mean, he was huge then, even then. It's amazing he's still alive. There must be so much freaking fat in his blood, you know, like the bad fats. They're not only bad, they're evil, and they're, how his heart, he must have this super, when he dies, they need to remove his heart and see what caused it to run all the way beyond where he should have been dead. Because the guy is really out of shape and unhealthy and smokes cigars and has some very evil views. But enough about my opinions about him. Rush Limbaugh, I had really no idea who he was at that point. And this girl, she used to take me over to Solvang. We'd go walk around Solvang all the time. And so Solvang is... got these interesting, if you've never been there, it's slightly featured in the movie Sideways with Paul Giamatti. Michael Master, what was that? That was my Paul Giamatti impression. Paul Giamatti. Michael Master, I don't know who that guy is. He's like a big buggy eyes, overweight guy. You know, Paul Giamatti hasn't aged. He stayed that, whatever that age was that he was when he got popular with Sideways, and he just stayed that. So good for him. Yeah, Sideways talks about Solvang, goes to Solvang. Solvang is very Danish. They got their apple skeevers, and they got their windmills, and what's his name? Hans Christian Andersen Museum. I used to love going there. I'd drive up there a lot. There was a buffet in this restaurant. This restaurant, it was like on the second floor. They had a Swedish buffet. Swedish-Danish buffet, something like that. With the meatballs. And they had that fish that they make. And I remember going there with my dad. And it was this upstairs room. And it had like this roof. Like you could see, it had no insulation, so you just saw the room curved up to where the roof was. It had one of those really pointy roofs. I really liked it.
Yeah, we really enjoyed watching the Christmas specials day. And you also watched the one with the Friends day.
Yeah, Friends, the one where, is it Joey? I forget all the names of the characters. The guy, the really dorky guy that drags Jennifer Aniston's heart around the whole. He tries to teach his son the story of Hanukkah, and he tries to get a costume at the costume store. The only one they have is one for an armadillo. So he becomes the holiday armadillo. It's a great episode. It was a nice way to wrap up Christmas, watching that ridiculous episode of Friends. And remembering the influence Friends had on our world. From the late 90s to the mid-O's. And I also watched a Christmas special for Warehouse 13, which I was talking about on the last show, and how it's not Hangar 13. And it was sort of It's a Wonderful Life thing. They had an artifact that was a brush that was owned by the author who wrote the book that became later It's a Wonderful Life. And the guy in the show touches the brush, and it's all of a sudden he was never born, so he's trying to figure out what's going on. And yeah, and what would happen if I was never born? There would never be this podcast. There'd be some other Mike's Daily podcast, some other Mike. Maybe his last name would be Peterson, but Michael Peterson, wasn't that a guy that murdered somebody? Maybe that wouldn't be a good thing if he had a podcast. Anyway, check out Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. It has links to all the wonderful places you can listen to the show. We're on Mixcloud, Spreaker, Player FM, Podomatic, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud.
Into an interview.
And we do this thing called Into an Interview, where I talk to people. All those past interviews you can find at mikesdailypodcast.com. And there's also the thing called the Amazon link. If you click on that and buy something, that helps us out a little bit. Whatever you were going to buy on Amazon. Perhaps you were going to buy what is showing me now on the website is Bigger, Leaner, Stronger by Michael Matthews. No, that's not me. That's not me! Stop showing that, Amazon! Also, if you'd like to donate to us through our PayPal and get a personalized MP3 for thee from all the Cafe Anyway characters and become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster, that's also there at the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. Michael Matthew, perhaps I should do a podcast and I would be talking the whole time and no one would interrupt me. That's true. It's just a thought. What a wonderful thought that was. What a wonderful world this would be. If what? If no one interrupted anyone. Yes, but then we'd be all talking over each other. It would be strange. Or we wouldn't say anything. Because no one would be able to interrupt you. Exactly, Sofia Vergara. Finally, tell your friends about the show through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Yelp, and Tumblr. All those links at mikesdailypodcast.com. And now, the last part of, and this is a very short part of my interview with Lee Greenwood. This goes back to 2002. It was in the month of November. That day I'll always remember because it was November 2nd, I believe. And then a couple weeks later, I would speak with Blake Shelton on my birthday of that year. It was a very busy year, 2002. So let's listen to the last part of the interview. It's very short, and here it is on Mike's Cassette Cubbyhole.
Mike's Cassette Cubbyhole.
He said, "What would you like to do now?" And I said, "I sure would like to go to the Hula Bowl." And so he said, "Cool, I'm sure glad you said that." And so we undressed and got out of our official clothes and got in some comfortable clothes and went up to the Hula Bowl. I'm sitting at the very top of the stadium where we were positioned with some Navy personnel around us. And the Admiral sitting to my right, and to my left there are several flyers. And flyer leans over and he says, "Let me see who's on your MIA bracelet. I've worn it for 22 years. It's John Consalvo Jr. He was a Marine, went down on an F-4 in Vietnam. He says, I went to Annapolis with him. He was in my class. So this time, instead of going back and being someone to watch the game, a fan, I'm still a fan of football. And I'll be able to see some of the college people who I've seen play this year. I'll be able to participate on the field and be able to sing my song, which honors this soldier that's down and those, who are in the military now and searching out terrorism. So I offer up my signature song, which I wrote in 1983. And this year, 2003, will be the 20-year anniversary of the song. So God bless the USA.
Good luck with the new album. It comes out
March 1st.
March 1st.
See, the single's out now, Rocks That You Can't Move, and the CD will be called Stronger Than Time.
Stronger Than Time. Lee Greenwood, and that pretty much sums up what Lee is. Stronger Than Time.
I sure hope so.
Excellent. Look for it on Curb Records in March, and thank you, Lee, for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right, Lee Greenwood. Yeah, did that make any sense? No? Okay. Well, that's Lee, the guy that sings Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And finally, the podcast picture. Let me get out my phone. You know, today I was walking my dog over in this, Suzanne, who I met at a dog park last year, just liked one of my pictures that I posted on Instagram. I will have to thank her for that. Because aren't you supposed to thank people that like your things on Instagram? I don't know how that etiquette works. I don't know how anything works. I basically walk around going, duh. Oh, did I kill enough time? I think this will work. Ooh, yes! I'm going to post a picture from the Lake Merritt. I went on a nice walk on, was it Christmas Eve? Or the day before Christmas? The eve of Christmas Eve? I walked around the Lake Merritt in Oakland. It's not actually a lake. It's a tidal pool. The water that comes in is from the ocean. That is why there's all sorts of clams in this quote-unquote lake. But the lake is like about 3 miles to walk around. That incident happened where I was telling you about the dog that was off the leash thing. That happened that same day. And I took a picture there of their lake house. I think, what do they call it? The Lake Chalet. And they've got a cool little gondola. You can go all venison style, and go for a nice little romantic ride around the lake. And it's very nice. I'll show you. You can see that picture at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Wonderful. Michael Matthews, that is beautiful. I would like a little romance in my life. You would? Yes, Michael Matthews. I'm not going to provide it. How about any of you guys?
No, I will pass on that, madam. No disrespect there.
And I want to pass on it too, because he did. Do you know that? All right, so no for Valentino, no for Bison Bentley. Anybody else? No?